Okay, so welcome back, everybody. Today is the 16th of the Excel 30 days training. And today we are going to continue by looking at certain things. Yesterday we looked at how to actually printing preparation, and it was very detailed, right? For those people that joined. So today we want to continue. A lot of things we're going to learn today. We're going to look at a conditional statement, sorry. We're going to look at conditional statements, which most of us already know. We already did in the class before, but we're just going to quickly breeze through it, okay? So now there are different conditional statements that we can make. So conditional statements, okay, they are actually statements that can be tested, okay? So when you make a conditional statement, there are statements that can be tested. So there are condition or statements that can be tested. So let's quickly get that. So conditional statement, sorry. Okay, so conditional statements are statements that can be tested. Okay, so that is that. So now the conditional statement that we have a lot of conditional statement. Number one, we have what we call the if statement. We've already looked at what the if statement is. We've looked at what the if statement is. So to get the if statement, right? So it output one result if the statement is true, and it output a different result if the statement is false. We've already seen that before. Okay, so the if statement gets three arguments. You also know that it gets three arguments. So the first argument is the statement to be tested. Okay, so the first argument is the statement to be tested. The second argument is the answers that you're going to pick if the first statement is actually correct. So an example you can say that the content of C6 is greater than 500. Okay, so that is an example. So the first one is the if function. Sorry, what's going on? So the first conditional statement that we're looking at is the if, and the if function or the if statement, whatever it is. So the if statement function. Okay, so number one, it's made up of three arguments. Okay, it is made up of three arguments. I just want, because the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to pick us somewhere. Okay, made up of three arguments. The first one is the first argument. The first argument is the statement to be tested. To be tested. Okay, so that's the first argument. So now after you've tested this thing, it's going to output this statement. Now when you use if function on that statement, it's going to output one result if the statement is true, and it will output another result if the statement is false. So that the first statement is, the first argument is the statement itself that needs to be tested. So an example, we can say e.g., we say we can say that C6, so that means the content of C6, the content of cell C6, right? We can say is greater than 500. So we've made a statement already. So that is like the first statement or the first argument. So now after we've made this argument, then the second argument now, which is going to be, okay, so the second argument now is it will output one result if the statements is true. Then number three, the third argument the third argument is that it will output a different result if the statement is false. So I'm just using this to like just remind us. So that's how it is. So here we are saying that the content of cell C6 is greater than 500. So that's the example that we give. Okay. So the example we give downstairs up there, we say example. We say that the content of cell C6, right, is greater than 500. So we have made the first argument, which is a statement. Then this statement now we are looking for results. So the second argument is that it's going to output one result if the statement we made is true. It's going to output a different result if the statement we make is actually wrong. Okay. So when you make this statement, there are two possibilities. It's either it is true or it's either it is false. The if function will output one result if the statement is true, the other one will output. So now the general syntax of an if function, if I'm using an if function, so let's look at the general syntax. The general syntax okay, of the if function is, so we now come over here to the bottom. We now do something like this. We say that equal to, right? When you say equal to, then let's leave a gap because I don't want it to awkward, or let me put something at the beginning like an apostrophe so that it doesn't look like I want to put a formula. So I say, yeah, so equal to, right? So I say equal to, then here, and I'll say if, I put my if, right? Then I'll open my bracket. When I open my bracket, then I'll put the statements. Okay, I'll put the statement. So then I'll put the statement. That is the statement is the first argument. Don't forget, sorry. So the statement is the first argument. So statement. So after you've done putting the first argument, you have to put a comma. Then the next one, then the value underscore if underscore true. Then you're done with the, so is this supposed to be underscore? So value if true, comma. Then the next one is you not say value if false. So close your bracket. So this is how we normally make the if statement. Okay. So this is how we to make the if statement. Okay. So once we have done with that, we are going to look at an example, an illustration for the sake of people that don't know what to do. So quickly, we want to be very fast because we've tweeted all this before. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show us something. Okay, so we're going to have a name. We're going to have the sales value. We're going to have commission rate. We're going to have the commission itself, and then we're going to have a comment. So let's start. I told you if you want to type in a very if you want to type in more than one cell, just select all the areas you want your information to show. So the first one we are going to type is the name. So name, then you press your tab, right? After your name, you want to have sales, tab, you want to have commission rate, after your commission rate, tab again, you want to have the commission itself. Then the last one is that I want to have a comment. So that is fine. So let's now click away from there and let's come under here and then let's come and select just the name and the sales. And then want to have like, I mean, I say want to have like something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So let's have like 16 items. So I want to come here. Okay, so under the sales, we want to go down as long as we want to achieve. So that's fine. Then we want to start typing. So the first person is going to be Abraham. Then we press with space. We want to have 509.70. We press tab again. We go to the next place. We have just any name. We'll click now. So I want to press tab. So we have 612 point 0.80. Oh, sorry, 0.80. So just be looking at everything I'm doing. Everything I'm doing is what I've taught us before, but I'm just using this to just refreshing our mind and also to prepare us for what is to come. Okay, 482.30. Okay, so press tab again. The next one we have is this Kelvin? Colvin tab. We have 154 point. So that's that. Then we continue again. After Colvin, we have Dean. Then we have for Dean we have 842.60. Then for the other guy, we have dash pand. Then we'll press the tab. Want to have 944. Okay, so the next one I want to have just let me quickly fill in let me fill in it quickly. So another tab we have Dugan. With 80, we have feet. We want to have 739.90. Want to have the next one alt. Want to have 678.10. The next one want to have, we're almost done. Want to have jaw gains. Scene dash. We want to have like that'll be 734.90. The next one want to have so REANOW. Okay, so the answer here we have 278 Okay, so that's that. So okay, so yeah, we have gotten all the names that we're looking for. And also we have gotten the we've also gotten the sales value. So what we want to do is that I want to give them commission rate. Okay. Then another thing I want to do is that here for this side, let me quickly come here and do something. Oh, it's too long. Let me undo Control V. Okay, so I want to have something like, let me click here. Not here, actually. Let me come back. I think it's this one. Okay, so what I want to do is that we want to get commission rate for them, okay? So under the commission, I want to say equal to this times the commission rate, okay? That's what we're going to have over there, equal to enter. So this one, we can just autofill it, just double tap. Once your plus become a tick plus, just double tap it and automatically the answer will go down that way. So we want to get the commission. We need a rate, okay? Now we want to use this, our conditional statement. So this is actually condition. So this is N, conditional statement. So we want to use this conditional statement to actually achieve what we want to achieve. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is that I want to make that statement now. Let it just finish statement. Okay, so it has saved. Now I want to make the statement now. So the statement we're going to make somewhere in this our sheet, we are going to have something like this. Let me show us. We are going to have here at the top here, we're going to have something like amount and then the rate. So we're going to have amount. So let me just select the place. Just like I said, I want to select 6 places now from here to 6. So I want to select 6 places. So the first one is going to be amount, right? I press my tab. I want to have a rate here, rate. Then I press tab. Here I want to have low. I press my tab here. Then for this low, I want to have like 5%. Sorry, 5%. Then I press tab again. Then here I want to have I. Then I press tab. Here I want to have like 10%. Okay, so 10%. Fine. So we are good to go. Let's now start. So here we've said that from what we have here, we say example, we say that the content of C6 is greater than 500. So we want to assume that anytime any of these people, so these people are sales agents, right? They are all salesmen and all that. So anytime these people, if they make a sales that is actually above 500, want to give them a commission rate, okay? So the commission rate we're going to give them, if they make any sales that is above such amount, we will give them a commission rate that befits whatever they have made, okay? So I want to do something. I want to align this team. I want to align it to the center. Fine. So we're going to give them a commission rate that befits what they have said. So we have already made a target that whoever makes anything above 500, we are giving the person 10% commission rate. Okay, so this is where I need us to pay attention now. Also, we're also going to make a comment, okay? So the comment we're going to make a comment like if they anyone that makes 500 or above 500, we are going to give the person the commission rate of 10%. But whoever makes below 500, we give them the commission rate of 5%. So then we also make a comment. The first comment is whoever makes up to 500, we are going or above 500, we are going to say great job. Okay, want to see great job. So we want to see great job. Then whoever doesn't make up to that, we want to say better luck. Better luck. Okay, next time. All these things, we want all these things to be under the comments. and also want to put a rate over here and all that so that we can achieve what we want to achieve. Are we still on the call? Hope we are following. If you are following, let me see a thumbs up. If you are following, let me see a thumbs up and you're paying attention. That's good. Okay, so fine. Let's go back to what we want to achieve. We know that we are using a conditional statement, and a conditional statement is made up of 3 arguments, okay? It's made up of 3 arguments. So part of the conditional statement we're going to do is if function is one of it, we have some if functions another one. Then the last one we have average if. So quickly, we want to use the if function. We know that the if function is made up of 3 arguments. The first thing to do is you are going to make a statement. And that statement is a logical statement. It's something that can be tested, okay? So we've mentioned that the content of B, so yeah, this is B192. The content of B192 is greater than 500. So we have already made up our mind that whoever the sales team, whoever can make 500 or above, are going to give them a commission rate of 10%. However, whoever makes below 500, we give them a commission rate of 5%. So it will not be so good if you start putting all those percentage manually. When, let's assume you have 1 million sales people, right? And those 1 million sales people, you need to like give them their commission rate. At the same time, you want to make a comment that you want to pass across so that you can see what each person has done and all that, okay? So because of that, we're going to use an if statement. And the statement is that whoever makes up to 500 or above, we give the person 10% commission rate. But whoever makes below that, we are going to give the person, actually below that amount. So we now come over here. This is what we're going to do. We're going to start our statement. Okay. I'm coming. Just say equal to. Once you say equal to, then you press your if. We now open your bracket. Remember, it's made up of 3 arguments. The first argument is going to be a statement. Let's make our statement. We now say the content of this place, right? We assume that is greater than 500. That's what we assume. Okay? So we are done with the first statement. And any statement that you make, all of them are always going to be separated by a comma. So since we are done with the first statement, we put a comma, right? Then the next thing is that let's now put the answer, the value that we want it to get or to pick if the statement is true. So we say, okay, if this guy actually made more than 500, right? We want to give him 10% commission rate. Now that is fine. But don't forget that this commission rate is on this, is on this place, which is your H, whatever, okay? So that is where it is, right? And then we are going to autofill this thing to the bottom. Remember what I told us? When you want something to be on this place so that it doesn't click away, you need to make it absolute reference. So we now come over here, we click our F4. For those people that have been following, we click our F4 so that we want to have that place selected at all times so that it doesn't shift away from there. The next thing we want to do is that we are done with the second statement or the second argument. We put a comma. Then if this thing we selected, if B, the content of B192 is not greater than 500, then we want to give it what? 5%. Then what you want to do also is that you also want to make this one an absolute reference by clicking on F4. Okay, so we are done with the statement. What you want to do now is that you now close the bracket. So you close the bracket and then you now press your enter. So automatically, this guy here automatically did what? It did above 500. So that's why it's getting 10%. So what we need to do is that we just autofill it to the bottom, okay? And then we can see that, okay, some people did not make up to that. Some people are getting 5%, while some people are getting 10%. So we can also format this to show us like percentage. So let's come over here and let's click on percentage. Let's see. Okay, fine. So it's showing us like percentage now. So that is fine. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to now make a comment now. So the comment I want to make is that I want to say great job or want to say better luck next time. So we are going to still use that same if statement. We now say equal to, we now say if, right? If the content of this cell right? Sorry, I'm coming. What's going on? Let me undo it. Sorry, Ctrl Z. Sorry. Yeah. So I said if I want to, I need to open my bracket. Sorry. Whenever I type your if, you need to open your bracket. So now we want to make the statement now. If the content of this place, right, if is greater, it will say it's greater than 500. That is the first statement. Okay. Now, because we say it's greater than 500, we have to put a comment. So whenever you are putting a comment or a text, I told us what to do. Whenever you are putting a comment or a text, what did I say you should do? Who can remind me on the call? What did I say you should do? What did I say we should do if you are making if you are trying to type a text?
Open your double quotation.
Yes, so you put it in a quote. So we want to make a statement now. So we have made the first statement. We say the content of B192 is greater than 500. So we have put our comma because we are done with our statement. Then let's now do our double quote. We open our quotation mark. We want to say great job. Okay, so great job. So we are done with that. Let's also close our quotation mark, which is double quote. Remember, I told us that if you are trying to get the name of a sheet, is just one quote, but it is the text, just a text, you have to use double quote. So after you are done with that, we are done with the second argument. You put a comma, then the last thing you want to now do is that now do this third argument. Open your quotation mark again and say better luck next time. So double quotation mark and close your bracket. So just click on enter now. So you can see now, automatically, we are making a comment. This guy over here, he did above 500. So this is what usually happens when you are using if. If you are making three arguments, just make the argument like that. You don't need to know whether the content of this place is greater than 500. You don't need to know. Just point it like that. You already know that if the content there is greater than 500, we are going to give the guy 10%. You already know that fact, okay? You also know that if the content of this cell is not up to 500, we are going to give him 5%. And that is what you should just do. Don't bother yourself whether this thing is greater than, whether it's more than 500 or not. Just press it into your formula. Just say equal to if. We now say the content of this place is greater than 500. Just assume, okay? Once you have assumed, then you now say comma. Now set the answer that I want to give to anybody that made up to 500. The answer is I want to give you 10%. Then you put a comma. Then anybody that made below 500 want to give the person 5%. So that's what we did over here. And then because these things are in this cell and we need to like autofill this thing to the bottom, we have to make this thing absolute reference. So we have to make all these things that we selected here absolute reference. A lot of people that are just joining the call today, they may not understand everything we are saying, but it's fine. Then the same thing is what we also did under this comment. Under the comment here, we also make the statement exactly the way we made it when we want to select the commission rate. We simply say the content of cell B192 is greater than 500. And we already know that anytime that anything is greater than 500, the person has done well. So we want to say great job. That is the best answer you can give the person, that great job. But if the person does not make up to 500, want to say better luck next time. And that is what we have done. So automatically just autofill it, and automatically you are going to see that some are going to be saying great job, while some will be saying better luck next time. So another thing I want to do is that because of the way I formatted this thing, I need to now make it left aligned. Okay, let me come here and make it left aligned. Okay, you can see now. So here it's saying great job, great job. These guys, they did more than 500. It's saying great job, great job. While over here we are saying better luck next time, better luck next time, and that is how it goes all the way to the bottom. So you can see that here, if you want to give your salespeople commission, if you understand the if function very well, you can easily navigate and you can get what you want to achieve. Okay, so that is fine. I believe that we are all following and we all understand that. Now, the other thing I also taught us is the sum if, right? Sum if also, it also have a syntax or the syntax or whatever the name is. So the syntax of a sum if, somebody is, you have something to say? Abba, Ibe, whatever.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. A
go on.
question, sir, before we
Okay,
proceed. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, going by the statement and the formula you use.
okay,
Now, how I have two questions there, sir. Now, number one is like the place that the whatever for commission.
okay. Commission rates or the
Yes,
commission itself.
the commission rate.
Okay, so what happened to it?
Yes, how can we achieve the same result without putting the commission on a cell?
I didn't get. Okay, how can we achieve the same result without putting
Yes,
a commission somewhere? Yeah, Abby.
yes, that is number one question.
Okay,
Okay, number two question is on the side of the comment.
okay,
Okay, now like logically it may mean that this person that has better luck next time means they did not win any like the comment may mean that they did not win any commission, but going by the sheet, they actually want 5% commission. So how can
yes.
we like allocate another comment for them so that those that did not meet both the 5% and the 10%, both the 5% and the 10% criteria can be given the better luck next time?
Okay, so for those of us that also were in the class, when we look at the salary computation, you understand that you can also nest your if function. You can nest it. For instance, when we computed the new tax law, we looked at the rent relief, right? For those people that were in the class, we look at the rent relief. We also looked at the tax breakdown. So those tax breakdown, we saw that okay, the different categories of your net salary that is remaining, we subjected them to the tax table. Okay, so if your salary is above the first grade, which is, the first grade is like 800,000 at 0%. Then the next grade is like, is it 9 million at 15%? Then the next one is 13 million at, is it 18%? And then like that, like that, like that. We move after 13 million, then we have like 25 million at 23%. And then the last one is 20, 50 million at 25%. So we're able to subject that net salary. So we're able to subject that taxable income into the tax table. So that will show you how to actually nest your if formula. So, but now we are not nesting this one now. And I also showed us that even teachers can also use it. You can also use it to achieve that, but that is not what I want to do here. So I will advise you that you just refer back to earlier or previous lectures that we've had on if. Just check our YouTube page. You will see those if formula that we have done, and even the new tax law that we also looked at itself. We also better explain to you. But this one, for the purpose of this night, this is what we want to achieve this night. We will not waste time on that. We are moving on. Is that okay by you? So yeah, we are just saying that okay, you did not get the highest grade, right? But at least you still got something. So what we are trying to say is that if you get 500 or above, we are saying you get 10%. But we don't want a situation whereby we don't give anybody anything so that they don't feel bad. So just to encourage them, so for them to continue to try. So the benchmark or the highest mark to get is 10%. So some people got it, while some people did not get it. So that's why we're telling them better luck next time. You can do better to get the 10% also. But for now, just manage the 5%. Are we together? Do you understand that? Okay.
Yes, I do, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
you understand, sir. Thanks.
Okay, so that's fine. So let's quickly leave here because we are managing the time. Once you're done with the if function, the next thing you want to look at is the sum if and then the average if. I'll just quickly work on that also briefly. Then we move away from there because there are a lot of things I want to teach us today and I need us to pay attention. So for people that don't know this one, you can always go back to our YouTube page. You're going to learn more from there. So the second thing we are looking at is the sum if. Okay, the sum if the sum if, right? The sum if function, and as well, the last one is number 3. We can also talk about the average if function. Okay, so for these two that I'm looking at, okay, we are also going to look at their syntax as well. So let's look at the syntax of these two. They have the same syntax anyway. Okay, syntax or whatever. So the syntax of these two is the same. So it's just the function name that is different. So if you want to work on the syntax of this one, let me go and copy the syntax of this first one. I want to copy this for the if. I want to take it down to this place. So let's say for the if now, I just want to change here to sum if. I want to say this is the sum if. Okay, so the syntax of a sum if is going to be here. You're still going to have the name. So let's say that we want to look at, we want to cherry pick some states, right? There are some states in Nigeria that we actually want to look at and then want to pick them. Okay, out of those states, we are also going to so we're also going to add some things together. So let's look at here. Let's say we have to have the name of the syntax. Now we have name of state, for instance. So we can have name of state here. Name, sorry, what am I doing? Okay, so name of state. Okay, so then the next one, the state that we want. Here is going to be the state we want. Okay, so let me just click here. State we want. So this is going to be want. This is going to be we. So this is going to be we. And here is going to be state. Okay, so state we want. Then the last one is going to be like range to add. So the range that you want to add. So, okay, let's come over here. I want to say range to add. So here is going to be to, then here is going to be hard, right? So hard. So let me quickly do something to this our sheet that we have here. I just quickly want to do some adjustment to it. So let me select all these things here I have here. So I can duplicate it. I taught us how to duplicate this thing without you actually affecting any of it. So to duplicate this thing now, this is what I'm going to do. I come to the edge of this sheet, okay? You see that my plus sign is going to turn to like four arrows, right? So once I have that, I'll just press my control key and left click. So, or is it left click? Yes. So I'll hold my control key, then I will left click. So let's do that. So control key. So you can see that my control key, my control now makes there to be an additional plus. So I now left click now. Then you can see that I have picked this file now. Okay, I'm duplicating it. I will now go to the bottom. Let's see what happens to the bottom over here. So I'll just come and drop it. So I'll first of all leave my left click first before I leave my control key. So that's how to duplicate something that you have done. So you can see that here we have all these things now. So here now, what I'm going to do now is that let's assume that we have different state here, state and capital. Abia, Umaya, how do we get the state now is the issue now. So now for this state, now we have, let's just say Abia is here, right? Let's say Lagos is here. Lagos. So we have Lagos here. We have Ibadan. I hope I'm correct. Or let's just say Ogun State. Ogun State. We have, please unmute your mic and start suggesting to me. Oyo.
Nasarawa.
Nasarawa. Then another person.
Gombe.
Continue. Gombe.
Oyo.
Gombe. I've gotten Oyo before. Continue.
Borno.
Borno. Do I know how to spell Borno? Okay,
Benue.
Benue. Benue. Okay. And that says Bauchi.
Rivers.
Rivers.
Bauchi. Then somebody say Rivers. Another person again. Kano.
Osun.
Kano is part of it.
Osun.
Kano.
Taraba.
Okay,
Osun.
Taraba. Here we
Osun.
have Osun. We can have Sokoto as well.
Yeah.
Sokoto. Any other states?
Kogi.
Edo.
Kogi.
Edo.
Thank you. I think we are done with this. Let's just manage this.
Right.
This is enough. Okay, so now this is what we have now. Okay, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see. So now to make this scene even more interesting, okay, I will do something again. Let me do something. Okay, I want this thing to, because we are trying to be able to achieve what we want to achieve by using the sum if. Okay, it will not make sense when you only have one state. It doesn't make sense because you don't need to sum them, right? So to make it more interesting, what I can do, you know that we can go to let's copy this thing now. We can actually go to our Excel and go and create this list. I think we've done that before. So let's come to our file. When we come to our file, we want to come down to our options, or no, options. Yes, when you come to your options, you want to come to advanced, I think so. Yeah, so advanced, then you want to go to the bottom, I think so. Do I still remember? You come to the bottom here, and I want to click on edit custom list. For those people that I can't remember. So the last time we met, we did this state. Some states are already here, okay? So let's also do something. So let's do something now. So we have some state already that already saved. For people that don't know how to save, you can save a list. For instance, the lists that are usually on Excel, we have the January now. For instance, January, those are pre-made lists. They call them pre-made lists. We have January. So if you take January now, you click away, you click on it again, you make it have this double plus. You want to autofill it, you can drag it down, and it's going to continue to add January, February, March, April, May. And that thing that you can also have is like the month, like you can say days of the week, Monday. So all these are pre-made lists. So you can go and create your own pre-made list on Excel. You can just come over here and drag. So we also created our own pre-made list in Excel the other day, and that pre-made list is what we want to work with right now. So let's go and click on that pre-made list, and with it, we are going to achieve what we want to achieve. Sorry, my delete key is actually not working. Okay, so let me just press undo, Ctrl Z. Let me click away, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Okay, fine. So let's now go and use that. So we made some pre-made lists. So what I'm going to do is that, let's say from Lagos, I think we have some pre-made lists from Lagos. I click like this, I drag down. Let's see what happens. Let's leave it here. Okay, you can see because we have a pre-made list that's made of Lagos, automatically it's just adjusting. You can continue again from Edo State. You can also drag down like that. We are going to be having all this pre-made there. So when we have gotten that, let's also copy some of these numbers. Ctrl C, we just want to put them here. Okay. So Ctrl V. Ctrl V. I just need the state to be more than one so that it will make sense. What we are doing will make sense. I don't just want it to be the way we want to do it. Okay, so after you've gotten all these states like this, we've gotten the date and everything, right? Onto Z. So we've gotten the date and everything that is there. So fine. We can also, so let's say these are the states. These are the sales that were made for each of the states, right? We can also take all these things and we can also double click to go down. Sorry, we can autofill it to the bottom. Fine. So we're at the bottom now. So what we want to do is I want to now use our sum if function. Our sum if has this syntax, okay? The name of the state that we are looking for, right? The name of states that we have in our Excel sheet. The next thing we are looking at is the state that we actually want. Then the last thing is that we want to add range to add. We want to add. For instance, let's assume that all these states now we have our guys in different states. They are all making sales, right? So we want to ask, okay, how much sales was made in Lagos? So we want to know the total sales that was made in Lagos, okay? So you can use to get total or the sum, we can use some if. So what we are going to do is that, remember the syntax. The syntax is that the name of the state, that is the list of the states that we have, comma, then the state that we want, comma, then we now put the range that we want to add. So let's come over here to this bottom, okay? We now come over here, we now say, okay, here, we now use equal to, we now say some if, right? We open our brackets. Once you open your bracket, we now come to the state. Remember, the syntax is that the name of the state. So where are the name of the state? Here are the name of the state. We select here, we drag it to the bottom, we continue until we get to the bottom. So here are all the names of the state, right? Once you've done that, you put a comma. Then the next thing is that we want to now cherry pick one of the states. Which state do we need? Let's say we want to know the sales that was done in Lagos. So what we do is that, remember, the state now is going to be like it's going to be like a text, right? Lagos state is a text. So what we do, whenever you're having a text, remember you're going to put double colon, quotation mark, sorry, and now type Lagos. It doesn't matter whether it is capital letter you type or a small letter. It doesn't matter. Just type it and then close your double column. Sorry, is it double quotation? I don't know what they call this thing. Yes, double quote, right? So put a comma again. Then after you've done that, so what do you want to go and add? So you want to add the range you want to add. What we want to go and add is the sales that was made. So we want to add all the sales now. So automatically, Excel will come and check all the names of the states, right? Then it will now pick Lagos State, single-handedly pick Lagos State out of all these. Then it's going to go and add the sales that was made in Lagos. So let's click on enter, and automatically in the whole of Lagos, okay, they actually made 3,112 naira. So please mute your mic. Then let's do one more for Edo. So for Edo now, we now come here, we now say equal to, we now say some if, we open our brackets, we go and select the range of the state. Remember, this is what I said. So name of state, it could be name of anything. First of all, select that thing. I have used this thing as over and over and over to explain to us. I don't even want to waste time here. So we now go and select the range of the state again. Okay, we select the range of the state. Once we select the range of the state, then we put a comma. We are done with our first argument. Then we now do our double quotes. Double quote. I'm not okay. I can see the check the formula bar. You see the double quote. Then we want to now press Edo. Then you also close the quote. Okay, once you've done that, then you now go and select all the sales that you want to add for Edo. Select all this. Oh, sorry. What did I do? Let me come back and check. Okay, equal to if Edo. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to put a comma here. A comma here. Then I'm now going to select all the sales that we want to put for Edo. Okay, fine. We select everything and we now close the bracket and enter. So automatically, Edo made a higher sales than Lagos State. That is fine. Then the next thing we want to do is that, so this is the sum. This is Lagos. This is Lagos here. Lagos sales. Lagos sales. So this is Lagos sales. So let me also teach you something. Now, if you remember, I told us that whenever you are typing, and then the space where you are typing, the word is longer than that place. For instance, if I click away now, you discover that this thing now is not having enough space to actually show what is exactly what is inside this cell. Okay, I told us that we can wrap our text. We can also, I told us that, but there's another way you can actually achieve that. If your mic is mute, if your mic is unmuted, please mute your mic. There's another way we can achieve that. So once you are typing and then you discover that the space is not enough and you don't want to go and do your merge and center and all those things, so just type, when you are typing Lagos, so Lagos, then when you discover that there is no much space again, this is what you do. Just hold your Alt key, okay, hold your Alt key and press enter. Okay, so I hope I didn't do something that is wrong. Let me check. Let me go back. I'm coming. Let me click off. Okay, still there. So once you are typing, okay, once you are typing, hold your Alt key and press enter. Okay, then I type state, S-T-A-T-E. So that is how you can create, you can see Lagos State now, Lagos State. So what we want to do is that's how you can actually create, what they actually call that thing. You can create a space under the what you've typed before. Okay, that's how you can create a space under what is you have typed before. Are we together? So that's how to force a line break within a cell. So here now we have Lagos State, and we are still under the same sheet, under the same role. So this is what we have. But you can now make this thing to look fine. If you like, you can do something like double tap here. Let me click away. You can do something like this. Let's come to the top. When we come to the top, we can actually okay, this is down. Do you want to make it go down? So it's already down already.
Okay.
Okay, I'm coming. So I'm coming. Let me check. It's already, so it's up. It's supposed to go down. Or is this one that will go up? Let this one go up. Let's try this one. Let this one go up. This one should go up. Okay, so I think that's how we're going to do it. So that one went up to go and meet it. And that's how to force a line break within the same cell. Okay, so you don't need to go to your home again, go and merge, then start wrapping your text. If you don't want to have a merge in this place, you can actually achieve it that way. So for me now, we can now double click and let this thing come back to normal. Okay, so something is wrong. Let me now make this thing come down. I don't know what's wrong with this thing, but let me undo Z. Okay, so fine. So that's how we can force a line break within a cell. So here now we have seen Lagos State, and here is Edo State. So let's do the same thing. We say Edo, then we now press Alt Enter. So Edo, then State. Edo State, then that is fine. So we have had Edo State, and now we have Lagos State. So then the last thing I want to do now, before I move away from this, what I'm doing now, I want to go and do for average. For average, exactly the way you did your sum if is exactly the way you're going to do for your average. So let's come over here and use average. Now say equal to, now say average if, right? You open your bracket. Now, what is the syntax for sum if? Name of the state. So go and select the name of the state. We come over here, we select all the names of the state from Abia to this place. So once you select all the name of the state, then you put a comma, remember, then you now put your open quote. Then what we need, we need the average sales for Lagos. We now type Lagos here. When we type Lagos, we close the quote, then we put a comma. Then the next thing is that we now go and select the range that we want to add. So we want to add the sales that was made in that regard. So we're going to add sales, and that is that. You close your bracket, and then you click on enter. So this is how to actually get the range. This is how to get your average if and all those stuff. Okay. So this is how to get your average if. You can also do for Edo as well. So for Edo, we also come and say equal to average if, then you open your bracket. So when you're doing your average, just assume that you're also doing sum if. It's exactly the same thing, but instead of you to sum, you're going to be having the average of what you have in that box. So once you have selected the range of the cell, you click on, you do comma, your comma, then you open your double quote, then you select like Edo, you say Edo, close your quote, put a comma, then go and select where you want to add. You want to add all the sales that they made. So you want to get the average sales for Edo, and that is what we've done over here. Then you close your bracket and you click on enter, and that is fine. So this is how we are able to do our conditional statement. So in case you hear conditional statement, don't feel that you've not been taught, okay, because I only said if and some if, but they call it conditional statement Don't also say you don't know it. So we are done with these two. Any question? Can I move on? We are going to the second half now of our class today. Can I move on? Does anybody have any question? Okay, so I want to believe that there's no question. So the next thing I want to go and do today now is want to now move on to want to look at what we call name range. We want to go and do what we call name range, creating name range. So we come over here. I want to control V here. Then I want to change this thing now to creating name range. Creating name range. Okay, so that's the next thing we want to do. So to create a name range, I'm going to actually do something. So let's quickly get, so I want to create a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to create a 5 by 7 something else. So let's quickly create a data. I'll click here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a 5 by 7 sheet I'm creating. So what I want to do is I want to start by having region. So here I want to have region. Region. So this is going to be region. Then I press my tab. I'm going to have January. Though this January now I could actually, this is January, tab, February. I can actually autofill this one. So let me not do that. So instead of me doing this, let me autofill this one. So or let me continue. So February, March, April, May, June. Okay, that's fine. Then tab, want to have like the regions now. What are the regions that we are looking at? We are looking at the North region. We are looking at North. We are looking at South. We are looking at Central. We are looking at also West. So you can see that all the regions that I selected, I can decide to use it however I like. Okay, it depends on what you want to achieve. So to go down, I'm pressing enter. Okay, but if I want to continue to go to the side, I will just be pressing my tab key. So I'm done with this. I can just press my tab. I can just start filling what I want to put there. So let's say this is a 576 tab. I can go 693, another tab, 717, another tab. I can go 328 tab, 34 tab, and I can go like a 443. Then I can press tab again. I go to the top. Then from here, I can press enter to come to the bottom. Then here, I want to go like a 287 tab, 895 tab, 849 tab, 786 tab, 650 tab, and 880. So I want to press tab again twice. Then I come here, 512 tab, 212. I'm pressing my tab, then 228 tab, 107 tab, 853, and 313. So another tab. Then this is the last one. You can have 111, 385, 643, 422, 901, and then the last one is going to be 839. So what I want to learn now is this. I want to show us something. Okay, so let's assume that this information. So let me make it. Let us organize this our information. Okay, let's organize the information. let's make this information be at the center. So I come to the home tab and I click on center, and I think it's fine. Then all this information here, I can also make them centralized. I come over here, I click on home, then I want to click on center. So fine, everything is looking good now. Then here, this place is not big enough. I can drag it a little, and this is fine. Okay, so we have our region. So let me now make this one bold on 2B to make it bold. And here we have our north, south, west, and whatever. So now this is what I want to do. So if you want to actually select something, so let me also use this one to also remind us, right? If you want to select something, I told us that you could actually click on a place. If I know that I want to select this cell, and this cell is actually H269, Abby, I can click on this, I can select here, Abby, come to this place and press, what is this place again? This is so if you come to this place, you see the name box. The left hand side of your screen, to the top of your Excel screen, you will see what we call the name box. So on the name box here, we have H269. Okay, so this is H269. So I just want to quickly show us how to select. Okay, so let's quickly look at how to select. We can come here, click here, right? Then I want to select from here to this side. Okay, I just come here, I click on here, I come to my name box. I now press what do I call that? H what? H269. Am I right? So I think you now click on, is it Shift Enter or Control Enter? So you click on Shift Enter. So automatically it comes and select everywhere that you want to select. So let's type that one down. So we are going to look at the different method of selecting. Okay, if you want to select data, okay, method of selecting data. Before I continue what I want to do, so method. Sorry, I'm just remembering this now. So method of selecting data. Okay, so data. So number one we're going to look at is that click on the first cell in the data range and knowing the end range name, Abi. So knowing the end range name, Abi, range name, comma, go to the name box, and type that end name range, comma, then you now shift plus enter. You press shift plus enter. Okay, so let's try that again. So I want to select from here to here, right? So I want to click here. I know that this my cell, whatever, is C. If you look at the name box, we have C266, right? So I come here, I put my cell here, right? I want to select from here to here. So I'm going to put my cell here. I'll come to my name box, right? And I press C266. So this is what I'm going to do. I will not hold my shift down. I hold my shift key and I press enter, shift enter. Okay, automatically it selects the whole place. You can do it back and forth. So that's the first way to select a data range. Okay, let me call it data. The way to select data range. Okay, that is the first way to select a data range. Number two way is this. Number two, sorry. So click on the first cell, then press control plus shift plus end. Okay, so you're also going to achieve that also. So you go to where you are, click on the place, right? Then control shift and end. Okay, so it assumes that this data, this information ended here because this is the last place that we type something. So that is how it selected up to this place. Okay, that's why it selected up to this place because there are data here, right? So another way, the third way, I think there are fourth way actually. There are 4 ways. Number 3, the third way is almost like the first way. The third way is you click on the first cell, then go to the end of the data and shift click on the last data cell. So that is the next one. So we come here, we know that information is here, Abby. So we can now come to where this thing is, the last place. We now shift and click. So I'm going to hold my shift down. I've selected this place, Abby. I now hold my shift down and I shift click. Okay, shift click. So I know that information is here. So it means that you can have information at the beginning like this, right? You can have information at the beginning of this sheet. Okay, then when you want to select to the last place, you know where the last place is. So once you select that place, you know where you want to go. You just scroll down to where you want to go and just shift click, and then you are going to select all those places. So I'm just showing us different ways of doing that. And that way, and that thing you can do is that you can also put, so the fourth way now, before we continue with what we're doing, today we are going to learn how to create name range. And it's very important when we are trying to do conditional formatting. A lot of people, you want to do, you want to audit, or you want to like reconcile some numbers, right? You are having duplicate numbers, you are having a lot of things, you don't know how to identify those information quickly. You don't know how to like reconcile all those data. We are going to be using conditional formatting to do that. But before we do that, we need to first of all learn creating of name range. So the last way you can also select is by clicking on any cell in the data range, then press Control A. Control A just once, okay? Press Control A. So if I come here now, I can just select here, right? And I press Control A, okay? You can see that. So Control A now, we select the data range. Then if you press Control A and that time, it's going to select the entire sheet. Control A again, it's going to select the entire sheet. So the first Control A selects the data range. Control A now, just click on anywhere where the data is, right? Then press Control A. The first Control A is you press, select the data range. The second Control A you press, select the entire sheet. Okay, so we are done with that. So let's now come over here. So this is what we want to do. We want to learn something. So we want to learn something. So we want to learn how to create data, of name range. Okay, the first thing we want to do is that let's assume that all these data we always need to like be selecting them. Probably you want to sum all these things, might need to select it. You want to do average if, you want to do sum if, whatever I want to do, or we also want to go and do conditional formatting. We want to like audit this data, like maybe the data is so large, right? I want to audit the data, I want to do a lot of things. So this is what you should do. Just first of all, select all January. So this is January I'm selecting, right? Once I select January, are we on the call? Let me be sure that we are still on the call. If you're on the call, give me a thumbs up. That's beautiful. Okay, fine. Yeah, so now once you select January like that, the next thing you want to do is that once you select January, come to your name box. Okay, in your name box, you can see that there is C266 because that is the cell that is highlighted. Okay, so what you want to do is that you want to come here and click there. Once you click there, so you know that that is where January is. You selected January, so just change this to January. Just press January. Okay, once I've done that, then click on enter. Okay, once you click on enter, then click away from there, come back to your name box, then press the down arrow here. So out of it, you're going to see that January is here. So click on January and automatically January is going to select, right? Did we get that? Let's do for February. So for February now, we want to also, for instance, let's assume that here I want to sum January, okay? And maybe January is very long. Maybe the January is like maybe from year to year, from year to like 1,000. This is, I can go and save January in the name box so that anytime I want to like sum January, or I have to carry out any activity on this thing, I don't need to go and start selecting again or something like that. I'll just come here. Let's assume I want to sum the total that we have there. I'll just say equal to, I say sum. I open my brackets. Then instead of me to come and be selecting where the data is like this, instead of me to come and select the data like this, okay, you can even see as I selected the data, what do you see in the box? Can somebody tell me what do you see in the box? January. So it means that here now, when you press sum, just type January, then close your bracket and then press enter. Automatically it's going to sum January for you. So let's go and do again for February. Okay, for February now, we also select February, right? When we select February, we come to our name box, we click on the place. Then when I type February there, February, okay, then we click on enter. So automatically that is saved. Click away from there, and then let's come and use February. We want to equal to, we want to say sum. We open our brackets, then we now type February. So you can see that February is here. You can click on it or double click on it, okay? Then you close your bracket, and then you press enter. So fine. So that is that. The other thing we can do also is that instead of us doing it one by one, right? We have done for January, we have done for February. Let's now select the total. We are selecting March now, from March to June. We're selecting the total place that there's March to June. So once you selected that, right? So now go back to your ribbon. In your ribbon, you know this is our ribbon now. So this big thing is our ribbon, right? So from the ribbon, now come to your formula. Go to formula. Okay. So under formula, you will see here that they say defined names. Defined names. So when you see defined names, you go up, you're going to see create from selection. So click on create from selection. So once you click on create from selection, it's going to ask you, where do you want to create it from? Do you want to, you say now create from selection, say create names from value in the whatever. Is it in the top name? Do you want to create name from the value on the top row, or left column, or bottom row, or right column? Obviously, our data is on the top row, Abby. So that's why we select top row and we click on enter. Automatically, you click away from here, you go back to the name box, you press this thing like this, you see that apart from you having January and February, all that things have also shown. April is here, I can see April here, I can see June here, I can see March here, I can see May here, I can see all those things that are there. So you can see that is how to actually create name range. Okay, so there's something I also want to tell us. When you have had the name range like that, okay, there's a possibility that you might not be able to remember some of those names. Maybe you want to use them for your formulas and all those things. Can you mute your mic, sir? Okay, so maybe you want to use them for like you want to use it for something, right? But you cannot remember what you used to save this, what you used to save it. So this is what you can do. You can just press your equal to sum, right? When you press equal to sum, there are two ways in which you can achieve that. You cannot remember what you want to do, okay? Just press equal to sum, come back to your ribbon, right? Ribbon, then come to your formulas. If you come to your formulas, then go straight to that defined names again. Under that defined name, then you see this place that I say use in formula. Click on use in formula. Automatically, it's going to drop down all the names that you've ever saved. All the names that you've ever saved is going to be dropped down. Okay. So once you see all the names that have been dropped down, what you can do is I now say, okay, now let me now search for what I'm looking for. Am I looking for dates? Am I looking for April? Am I looking for action? Am I looking for department list? Am I looking for February? So let's assume, okay, so let's say we are, okay, January. Okay, now, oh, this is January. Okay, fine. I'm trying to sum January, and I click on January. Then you close your bracket, you close the, so once you've collected that, then, okay, so once you've done that, then you want to now close your bracket and click on enter. Okay, so automatically that has been achieved. Another way you can also achieve that, if you cannot remember that you need to go to that place to go and check for the names. This is another thing you can also do. So once you want to use it in your formula, okay, you say equal to, you have already press your sum, then you open your bracket, then you have remembered what you want to use in your summation. Just press F3 on your keyboard. F3, and F3 will open the paste name dialog box. Okay, F3 will open the paste name dialog box. Then you can scroll down on this F3 and double click on the name you want to use. So let's assume we want to use June. Double click on June, and what happened? June is actually selected. Then once you've done that, then you can close your bracket and press enter. Okay, so now for the sake of us solidifying the knowledge, I will not take it again so that those people that can't grab so fast can be able to follow me well. So the first thing we did is that we want to create name range, and it's important. You discover that everything I'm teaching us, we will need it later. Everything I'm teaching us, we will need it later. All these things I'm teaching you now, when we come to doing conditional formatting, we still need all this name range and everything. We are going to need it later. So what we want to do is that, let's assume we always want to come and be summing January or whatever needs or whatever. We need to always come and repeat these tasks almost all the time. Instead of you to always come and be selecting, or it could also be that you want to select all these details, okay? You could also want to select all these details, right? You want to select all these details, right? Probably you want to use it for conditional formatting. Once you select it like this, just come to your name box and just press, you have selected everywhere. Just press data and automatically press enter, and automatically data has been selected. So what you want to do is that when you just need this information, you want to select all this place, just come over here. Sorry, come over here, look for data, and look at it. It has selected all those places for you. So you don't need to, it's going to reduce your mouse click, it's going to reduce manual work. You're going to use it. So let's assume once we have selected this, we want to change the front. Want to change the front of these things, you can quickly come and change the front. You want to change the way it looks, you can do anything. So that is one of the reasons why we need to learn all this name range. So you can see that I've shown us how to save all these things in our name box, right? So once you click on anywhere you want to select, come to the name box and type the name, type the heading of that place. You also do the same thing for February. Then when we came to March, April, May, and June, we simply selected everything from March to June. When we selected everything from March to June, we came to our ribbon, our ribbon toolbar, then went to the formula tab, right? From the formula tab, we went to the right, we saw where they say defined names. Under the defined name, we go to the top, we saw create from selection. And then we click on create from selection. And then it's telling us what do you want to create it from the top row or do you want to create it from anywhere. So we've done that already. And that is how we're able to get all these names saved in this place. And that also told us is that in case you want to use all these things for your formula and then you are not able to remember the name that you saved, you can save the name, but you may forget the name that you used to save it. For instance, let's assume I want to select all these things, right? I want to select all these things. Maybe this is a sales template. Maybe I save it by the name sales, if it's possible. Maybe this is inventory. Maybe I save it by the name inventory. Okay. I just need to come and I cannot remember what I saved it by. All I need to do is that it's either I just go and start typing my formula equal to, I want to say sum. I'll open my bracket. Then when I forget what to do. I go back to my ribbon toolbar, right? For my ribbon toolbar, I go to formulas. For my formulas, then what do? I come to where we have defined names. From the defined names, I go to use in formulas, right? When I click on using formulas, automatically it's going to bring down all the names that have ever been saved. So let's assume this name was saved. Location. Let's click on location, and then we now close location. Then sorry. So I click away from there, then I close location, then I press enter. Okay, so now it means that when we save location, there was nothing saved inside location. So that is why we didn't have anything there. So that is how to do that. Then alternatively, if you cannot remember going to the ribbon toolbar, then going to look at the tab, the formula tab, then going to define names, then going to using formula. You can also use a shortcut. Just come here, press your equal to sum if, right? Equal to sum. You open your bracket and press your F3. Your F3 is going to bring out the paste name dialog box. Okay, so that's what it's going to do. So let's close it. Let's close out and let's close out from here also. So let's now see whether if you press F3, whether it will still bring out the name dialog box. F3. Okay, it will always bring out the name dialog box. So let's quickly go and double click on April. Okay, so it's going to go and select April. So you see that even if you don't want to use this in a formula, you can also double click on April. It's going to go and highlight where April is. So from what I've told us, right? Do I need to jot it down or we can remember everything I've said? Hello? Unmute your mic.
Let it be jotted, sir.
Okay, I should jot it down. Okay.
Yes.
So this is what I said. So when you are trying to create a name, right? Create name range. So let's do something like this. Let me now move this thing. Let me move this thing from here. I want to move it from here. And to move it, I simply come here, I click, and I hold it, and I drag it to the bottom. Okay, so I drop it, and it's now at the bottom. This one also, I can also drag this one and take this one to the top. I just hold it like this. Then come to the middle, drag it, and take it to the top. Okay, so you can also arrange your sheets like this. When you are just working and your colleagues are looking at you and say, how is this guy working like this? This is very like magic. You're just shifting things around. You're just changing things. So you can see that this thing is paying dividend. When you invest your time in learning, it will actually pay dividend. Okay. So let's now jot now how to create name range. How to create name range. So number one, select the data under January, comma, then go to the name box and click. Then type January and press enter. Full stop. Click away from there and you can begin to use January in your formula. You can begin to use January in your formula. So you can see that here, this thing actually is telling me that I need to wrap this text around. But if I don't want to wrap this text around, this is what I would have done. Where I have and, right, I'll just press Alt Enter, Alt Enter. Okay, automatically it's going to put the page break. It's going to, sorry, what is happening? Okay, so now let me undo Control Z. Let me undo it. Okay, so automatically on its own, it auto redo. Then what I'll do now is it's trying to create a page break, but it's wrapping the text, but it's not doing it in the right way I want it to do it. Okay, so let me take away the wrap text and then it's back. So you can see that you can actually, but this is what you should have done. Whenever you are trying to wrap tests, right? Whenever we are trying to wrap tests, we make sure that the thing is not too long. If it's too long, because when you're wrapping your text, you're only wrapping it on the column that is showing. So in this kind of situation, the best thing to do is to go and merge and center this thing. Once you merge this and center, then take this thing up, take it to the side, then wrap the text. Okay, so it's going to show properly like this. So now I have mentioned that click away from there, and what I say should do. Okay, imagine. So click away from there, and okay, so let me come over here. Okay. So click away from there and you can begin to use January in your formula. That's fine. So you can do the same for February. Then alternatively, so number two, Abi. So alternatively, you can select the header for February to June, downwards to the data beneath them, then go to the ribbon toolbar. Sorry, the ribbon toolbar and click on the formula tab. Locate what I said we should locate the other time. Let me see. Locate. Okay, so let me try and do something. So come to the, so when you go to the formula tab, you locate defined names. Okay, that's it. That's what I want to say. So locate the formula tab, comma, then locate formula tab, comma. Okay, so locate defined names, comma, then click on, I think is it use. Let me go back. So when you come to your formula, right? You now come to your define it, then create from selection. Okay. So that's what we are going to look at. So now when you get there, you now come and create from selection. Okay. Then click on create from selection. So that's all. So let's now wrap this text around again, just like the way we normally do. So we'll come over here, come to our home, come to merge first. When we merge it, then we want to take the text up, take the text to the side, rightly align, then we want to wrap it. Okay, so that's how we always wrap our text. Fine. So that's how we always wrap our text. I also showed us another way I can wrap our text, and that way to wrap our text is when the text is not so long, maybe the text is just short, you can, once you finish typing, so let me just do something. So let's assume I want to type something like beta lock. So once I finish typing lock, I hold my alt, I press my enter, then I press next time. So automatically, I'll be able to create, so better luck next time. So I'll be able to create a page break within the same cell, okay? But let me undo that because it's not even giving me what I'm even expecting. So that's how we do that. So then once you've been able to do that alternative, right? Then you create from selection. Then what else do you now do? When you come to your formula, you come to this define, then create from selection. Then you see whether it's on the top, from the whatever. So yeah, you can create it like that. So then let me just put it there. So from the drop down, click on top row. Click on top row, or click on top row, okay, top row to create from, sorry, the top row. Okay, so that's that. So then the last thing I said is that let me put notes, right? So if you can't remember these names when trying to use them in a formula, comma, after typing equals to, and the name of the function, comma, open bracket, then go to the formula bar and at the defined, is it defined name? Is it defined name? Yeah, at the defined names, sorry, at the defined names section, right? Click on use in formula. So let me put this on in quotes, so that you know that, okay, using formula is actually the name of something. So click on use in formula. Okay, then automatically it brings down all those, whatever that you want to use. Then you can now select what you want to use from there. Okay, so that is that. Are we together? Are we following? Are we together? Can we move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I've been able to tell us a lot of things that I feel that will come in handy to us for the next stage that we're actually going. Okay, and I believe that's those things I'm telling us, we will see them when we start working from tomorrow. Okay, so another thing that I feel that is also important to tell you is that when we now want to start formatting, now, we've already seen that we can use F3 to, you can also, hey, I didn't put F3. So I've told us that you can always get it to get using formula then, or you can also, so alternatively, or press F3 to access the name. What they call F3, what does it show? F3 paste name, yes. So F3 to access the paste name box. To access the paste name. So let me make it here. Okay. Then double tap to select. So that's that. So we are done with that. So the next thing I want to show us now quickly. So we are going straight now to how to now format. So which we are going to do more tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at conditional formatting. In case you are working on your bank statement and you are working on your cash book at the same time. So you want to find out, do we have so transaction in the bank? Do we have it in the cash book? So you can trace. You can also check, okay, do we have duplicates? Do we have these? Do we have that? How do we do our reconciliation of all those things? So if you understand the knowledge of conditional formatting, you can easily achieve that. So another thing you want to do is that, let's say today's date, actually, let's have something. Let's assume want to print this our document. I've shown us how to print. Printing has been done yesterday. I taught us how to print yesterday, which is a good one. We cannot go back to that again. So you can always go back to that video to understand it. So let's say you want to like have the date that we actually created this file. Okay, the date that we created this file. So we are only going to conditional formatting. Okay, so the date that we created the file. So we say created on today's date is what? Today's date is this 17th of February?
17th of February.
Date and okay, so 17th of February. So I think February normally comes first, then 17th, then, oh, what am I typing? What is happening? Click away, Control Z. And nobody is telling me that I'm making a mistake. Okay, so I come over here. So I said February 17th, 2026. Okay, fine. So that's the name, that is the date of that we created this file. So created on this date. Then number two, we want to have what is the other word? What's the other word? Come, let me check. Okay, so today's date, then the last one is printed on. So we could have today's date. I've shown us how to get today's date, right? So today's date, put a colon, okay, whatever. So we are going to say, what are we going to use for today's date? You can remind me. Then we also want to put printed on so today's date. How do we get today's date? What formula are we to use?
Today.
Okay, so say equal to today. Then I think we are going to open the parentheses. We also close the parentheses. Okay, we'll click on enter. Okay, so equal to today, right? Then printed on. We want to put this one. We want to say equal to now. Okay, we open the parentheses. We close the parentheses. We click on enter. Okay, so let's make room for this. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So let's now select this, right? Let's select this like this, and let's merge it. Let's merge and center. The next thing we want to do is I want to now make it left aligned. Fine. So we have it like this. So let's now, so this is what we're going to do. When you have something like this, right? You want to be able to, when we are formatting is in two ways, right? Formatting is in two ways. You can either format, dates, or you can format numbers. So this thing now, when we are formatting date, so just click on here, then you press Ctrl+1. Remember that if you press Ctrl+1, it will bring out this our what's this dialog box? Format dialog box. Okay, format cell dialog box. It's going to bring out the format cell dialog box. So once you bring out format cell dialog box of the home tab, okay. So what you want to do is that you see that this thing is date, right? So date is selected automatically. So let's now check for which of them do you want to use. Let's scroll down. I think this is fine. Let's select this method. I want to select this March 14. This format is fine. Then we just click on OK. So let's make room for this thing. Let's also, do we need to let me make room for this thing? Okay. Let me just select like this. I also want to come here. I want to merge. Then I want to now make it come to, yeah. So this has been done this way. So alternatively, we can also, for this one, you can also copy the painter for this one. Let's come to home. And let's copy the painter for this one and come and put it for this one. Okay, so both of them are the same now. So that is fine. So the created on, then today's date. You discover that when you get to another date, this other created on, this is the actual date that we created. But when you are in another date, which is tomorrow will be changing. This date will be changing automatically, right? Then printed on, when do we print this thing? Let's now come over here. For this one, this is what we're going to do. Let's press our Ctrl+1 again. When you press your Ctrl+1, you discover that custom is what was is what is selected. Custom has been selected. Then let's come to the top. You see that under this type, there is something inside this box. Okay, so let's select everything and let's delete it. Oh, sorry. Let's do it again. So I press Ctrl+1. Okay, once I press Ctrl+1, then I come to custom is selected. Then you come to inside this box, right? You want to delete everything inside this box. Then you see that automatically there's a number that has been that is representing this date on this place. But we don't want to bother ourselves about that. So what do we want to do? We want to do something. Let's start pressing M. So put M for the month, right? So month is the third M, the fourth M. So we now have February, sorry. Once we have February, we want to put a space, and click a space, then want to press D for date, for the day. The first D is going to show that today is 17. The second D, okay, so it has to be 2 Ds, right? So assuming it's only 1 D you press, and then you have like today is 5, it will only show 5. But when you press 2D, it will show 05, okay, to show that It is that is the date. The next thing you want to do is that you want to press a comma. When you press a comma, okay, you leave a gap. Then you want to press Y for year, Y, 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 Y. So we have, that is what we have for the year. Then the next thing you want to do is that you want to now leave a gap again, leave a gap, press space, and put at what time did we create this thing? Let's put a space again. Then we now say that okay, double H is for hours. You put a column. Double M is for minute. Another column, they'll put double S is for seconds. Okay. So once we have done with that, we can click on enter. Let's see what happens. Let's click on OK. Let's see what happens. Okay. So you can see what we have now. So we printed it on the February 17th, 2026 at this time. So, but let's assume that you don't want to, you want to use like 12 hours and not 24 hours, right? So let's now come back to, let's select this space again, then press your Control 1. When you press your Control 1, go back to this place. You see that that's your art. There's already a slash in your art. Don't bother about it. Click after the double S, leave a gap, right? Now press AM/PM. Okay, so AM/PM. Automatically, then click on OK. Then let's create more room for this. Is like this thing is not going to be enough. Let's create more room. Then we'll come over here. We merge first, then we merge again. Then we now center it. So you can see what we have here now. Here we have printed on February 17, 2026 at 9:57 to whatever PM. Okay, so this is how to format the date. So do we understand it? Do I need to jot it down or we understand it? Hello. I hope we're still on this culture.
Understand. We understand. I understand.
Okay, so understood. So just go to your, so if you want to format any of these things, just click here and press your Control 1. So you can see that for the one that's printed on is a now function that we use. So another thing you want to do is that when you get to tomorrow, okay, you discover that tomorrow, if you want this thing to update itself, is when you come to a place, like there's something here, you come here, come and we type what is here again. Like we come and we type here, we now type 576 and press enter. So automatically that will make the sheet to recalculate. When the sheet recalculates tomorrow, then you are going to see that this today's date that we have here that will put equal to today will change, because that tomorrow we are not going to be 17th any longer. We are going to be on the 18th of February. But alternatively, if you want to force a worksheet to recalculate, right? You want to force a worksheet to recalculate, just press F9. So let's put that down. To force a worksheet to force a worksheet to recalculate, comma, press F9. Okay, so that's how it is. So I think with this we are done with it. Okay, you see that immediately I click away, this thing updated. So to force a worksheet to calculate, it's either you type in a place and press away and the thing will calculate, or just press your F9. So if I press F9 now, you can see. Just be watching this place now. Watch this place, okay? Watch this box. I'll press F9 now. Look at the box. Can you see? Can you see it moving? It's showing that it is recalculating. So when you press your F9, it's going to recalculate your worksheet. So on this note, I will say we are done with this class. Thank you for your time, and hope to see you again tomorrow. was nice.